Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you are doing amazing. Today is another super exciting video because we are going to be trying literally all of the products that I have from Charlotte Tilbury. We have brow stuff, we have cheek stuff, we have serums and magic creams, palettes, contour, powders, lipstick. We have literally a collection of a lot of things from Charlotte Tilbury, and I thought it would be really fun to put as many products on the face to try and complete a full face and to just determine which ones I think are worth the money or which ones I would pass given my collection and other products that I have. So if you are interested in Charlotte Tilbury makeup, if you want to know which products are worth the money in my opinion, if you want to see what they look like on my face, well then you know what to do. Just keep on watching. So we have quite a lot of products here. We have some skincare like I showed you guys. We have the new blush that just came out. We have some bronzer and contouring, eyeshadow, all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna try and apply as many products as possible to my face, and then we'll rate them based on whether I think it is worth the hype, worth the money, and I would like repurchase, or I'm so glad that I have it in my collection because it's quite like no other, or if I think I would pass based on having other items that might be similar to it, or overall just thinking that the price point is a little too high for what it actually does. So for starters, we're gonna go in with the Charlotte Magic Serum Crystal Elixir. I have the mini bottle. I also am just gonna pull up price points here for you guys so that you guys can know how much everything costs. This one retails for $30, and this is infused with vitamin C. Now the $30 one is the mini. The 1 ounce size, which is their normal original size, is $85. So pretty expensive for a serum, but let's just try it on. I'm just gonna place it on the face as I would with anything else. Now I must say this does have a very, very strong scent. So if you don't like scented skincare, I wouldn't recommend this for you. I honestly don't know if I like it or not. It smells citrusy, but it's a little strong for my liking. But overall, I'm just feeling it. I like how it feels. It has a tacky base. It kind of feels also like smoothing, which is very interesting. It literally kind of feels like one of the primers that I have. So overall, I like it. Do I think it's worth $30 even just for this little bottle? $85 for the large? No. So I would say I would pass on it. This claims to reduce the appearance of dark spots, fine lines, wrinkles, visibly brightens and plumps the skin for flawless application. So I feel like you can also use this as a primer. Like I said, it does feel very similar to some of the other primers that I have that are definitely a fraction of the price. So for me, I am going to respectfully decline and pass on the Magic Serum, but definitely will be using my mini. Moving on, we finally get to try the famous Magic Cream. This is a moisturizer. I have heard so many things about this. This is the Magic Cream Moisturizer with hyaluronic acid, and this retails for $65. They have that for 1 ounce, and you can get the 1.7 ounce, which will come out a bit more expensive, but she uses this all the time on her models, and it looks really nice. I just don't know if it's worth the price point. So this is actually gonna be the first time that I use it, so I'm just gonna place it the way that I would. Now, I genuinely do not think that for me, this would be worth the price point just because I am a moisturizer girl, meaning like I put a lot of moisturizer. I put it multiple times a day because I want the skin to feel nice, hydrated, and moisturized. Now, I must say it does feel nice. It feels really nice on the skin. This claims to be an anti-aging moisturizer with hyaluronic acid to visibly plump the skin and diminish the look of wrinkles, leaving your skin glowy and prepped for flawless makeup. So very similar to the serum, we're seeing that effect of plump skin, supposed to reduce your wrinkles. Honestly, I think it looks pretty, but like I said, I do feel like I have other moisturizers in my collection, like my Skin Effects and even my Kiehl's Ultra Hydrating Face Cream that I prefer a little more, that give a bit more hydration. So I think it's good, but I think I will pass. I do think that the price tag is a bit high for what it is and what it does, but I do still like how it works on my face. Next up, we have the Airbrush Flawless Longwear Foundation. This one retails for $49. So we're gonna put some of this on my face. I do believe like it's a little dark for my skin color right now, but there's nothing we can't fix with some concealer. Just gonna put some of that on the face. Now this foundation is described as a long-lasting weightless hybrid skincare and foundation mix, and it is Charlotte's secret to a flawless, poreless, confident complexion. It is full coverage, it has a matte finish, and it is a liquid formula. Now I've actually used this before and I really do enjoy this formula. I think it is literally so stunning, and I am a sucker for a good matte foundation. Now I typically don't always go for full coverage, but this one I do feel like you can balance it out and make it a medium to full, so I really do enjoy that. I'm just gonna put this all over the face, but it gives a beautiful finish. It is a matte finish, but it's not like a dry matte finish. If anything, it does have a little bit of radiance to it, which I personally love. And I think that it literally looks absolutely stunning on the face. Just because this is a little dark for me, I am just gonna go into the concealer, and that is going to be the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. This is what it looks like, and I'm just gonna dot a little bit of this around the face just so that we can lighten it up a bit. We're actually also gonna use it as concealer, but we're just gonna use that right now. And let's see how those blend together. Now they are completely different finishes, so very interested to see how they mix, but I want to make sure that it lightens it up just a bit. This is what the foundation is looking like right now. And overall, I do really like the foundation, so I do think it is worth the hype and worth the money if you do not have other foundations or you want a good medium to full coverage foundation. Now we'll dive into the concealer and actually use it to conceal the under eyes. And this is the Beautiful Skin Medium to Full Coverage Radiant Concealer with Hyaluronic Acid. I must say I love that all of these things have hyaluronic acid inside, which means that it is just very hydrating, and you do feel that on the skin. Even with that matte foundation, it doesn't feel like super dry or anything like that. So I really do enjoy those skincare elements infused into all of these different products. Now this one has a radiant finish. It says it's good for dark circles, medium coverage, hyaluronic acid, long wearing. It's described as a creamy, skin-like, medium to full coverage concealer that will visibly conceal, brighten, and lift the eyes. Available in 30 waterproof shades and can be worn up to 16 hours. So once again, loving all of those claims. I have used this one before, I believe maybe like once or twice when I first purchased it, and I enjoyed it a lot. So let's see how we like that paired together. So this is the concealer blended out. It is very dewy, as you can see the reflection of the light. So I think if you have dry skin or even combo, you would really like this. I don't know if you have oily skin, if that would be such a good mix, but overall I really enjoy it. My under eyes tend to be a little on the drier side as time goes on, so I really do enjoy having this radiant concealer to be able to use. So in my personal opinion, I do think that this is worth the money, worth the hype. Moving on, we cannot talk Charlotte Tilbury without talking about these wands. This literally went viral everywhere on social media. Everyone was talking about these, and honestly with good reason. This definitely is a revolutionary product when it came out at its time. There was literally nothing quite like this out. I mean, now every brand literally has its dupe for it. Tarte, Milani, Flower Beauty, there's a ton of different brands coming out with this type of style and formula, but these are just elite, and that is going to be the contour wands. I have in the shade fair, medium, and medium deep, so I'll definitely be using this to contour. These retail for $42, so they are on the pricier side. It's described as a soft focus semi-matte contour wand with a sponge applicator. So we're gonna just apply some of that on the face. This is what the application process looks like. You can twist the cap to open and twist it back to close, so always make sure that you definitely close it so that it doesn't get too messy. But what I love about these, and what I think so many people love about them, is how easy it is to use it. I feel like contour can be something that just comes across as being super scary, because you're just like, oh my god, is these dark spots that we're adding to the face, and it can literally go south quickly. But what I love about this product, and I'll show you as I blend it out right now, it literally just blends away seamlessly, and I think that that's what makes this product so unique. And honestly, I will continue to repurchase it. I'm so happy that I purchased it because it truly is unlike any other product that we have. Even honestly, with the dupes that have come out, I still feel like this product is the one that still just blends seamlessly into the skin. So literally just taking a brush, you can take a sponge, you can even do it with your fingers, and it literally just like disappears into the skin. This is what the skin looks like once we have applied it. Literally so flawless, and definitely worth the hype and worth the money. Now, another product that I have here is going to be the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer, and this is what it looks like. Literally the largest pan ever. It is literally almost just like half the size of my face. Now this retails for $58, and it is also once again infused with hyaluronic acid. It says that it is best for all skin types, and it is a 16-hour wear cream bronzer in 4 different shades for the face and the body to blur your skin, hydrate, and it's also sweat proof. So I've actually used this, I would say maybe 1 or 2 times when I first purchased it, and then it kind of just got lost in my collection. So I'm super excited to just whip it out again. I'm gonna just take some of it. This is a large pan, but it is cream, and creams typically don't last as long as powders. So I don't know if honestly it's worth the price point, and also just the fact that it is a cream. I would have preferred honestly to have less products for a cheaper price point that then I can use in time, because there's just no way you're using this whole thing. No way. If anything, it'll expire before you actually finish using it. But I do really love the bronzing effect that it gives. I think it's a really pretty summer addition to be able to have in my collection. I love the formula. I just don't think it's worth $58 because, like I said, I feel like you're getting too much product, which typically we want, but since it's a cream, that just means that it'll expire sooner, which then ultimately means that product will go to waste because I won't technically really be able to finish that before it expires. So although I think it's a pretty item and I will definitely be using it, it's not something that I would recommend to go out and purchase. Now, if you use cream bronzer all the time, or if you also use it for your body, then at that point I do think it will be worth it because you're getting use out of it. But if it's just for your face, I don't think that you'll have enough time to be able to get through all the products. So a lot of product would be wasted. So we're continuing on with the liquid and cream products. There is actually quite a lot of them, but here we have the blushes. Now this is going to be the new Matte Beauty blush, and I have the color Pillow Talk Dream Pop, and that is their richest pink color, and this is supposed to be matte. But I also have the Viral blush, and this one is in Pink Gasm. This, as well as the contour sticks, went viral everywhere, and it took forever to try and get my hands on any one of those 2 products. I was literally, me and my sister-in-law were stalking it on Sephora, and once they were available, we picked them up to try them. So we're actually gonna take some of this one. I've actually used this before, I think maybe once or twice. So I'll use it again to just gather my final thoughts, but this also retails for $42. So I would say a little on the pricier end for blush. This is a matte liquid formula, which I feel like this one wouldn't necessarily be something that I would highly just go out and recommend. I mean, wow, that is super pigmented. But I do feel like there is a lot of liquid blushes right now out in the market. So I don't know if I would necessarily say this is worth the price point. You can get Rare Beauty, you can get She Glam, you can get Milani, you can get a lot of different liquid matte formulas for a much more affordable price point. This is really pretty though. I am trying it on and I think it's stunning. I just don't necessarily think that for the final effect that you get, oh my goodness, look at how pigmented this is. But once again, I would just say that for the price that you're paying, which is $42, I don't necessarily think this is necessary. But overall, if I had to buy this or repurchase or recommend, I would say I do think that there are other options that give you the same look at cheaper price points. Now, another blush that I have, and that's the one that I was talking to you guys about earlier, this one is very unique because I would say this is a combination of a blush and a highlighter. Now, this is the first time that I'm using this one, so I'm super excited about it. This is what it looks like. Once again, that sponge application. So what I'm just doing with all of them is just applying it directly on my hand before putting it onto the face. Now you can go and apply it directly, but I just want to be a little bit more in control of where I'm placing it. So I'm going to use this as a blush, but also a blush topper. Wow, that is gorgeous. And I was a little scared because I didn't think that it would have enough pigment like a supporting base, but it actually really does. And I really do like how that looks. So I think if I were to recommend an actual blush, or say, okay, this one I think is worth the price point, I would say that the original blush wands are worth the hype and worth the money, just because it's a unique item. It's not your typical matte liquid blush like this one, where I do feel like you can find other alternatives. This one I feel like is very, very unique because it is a hybrid of a highlight as well as a blush. So I would recommend getting this one if you want to try a blush and highlighter duo and combo while still getting that really beautiful blushy base. Now we're not done. We have another item, and this one is going to be the actual highlighting wand. Now this one also retails for $42. So all the wands are $42. So the ones that I would say I recommend are the original, like those 3 original ones, the contour as well as the blush hybrid. Now this one is just highlighter, and that is absolutely stunning. I have the color Spotlight, which is just a champagne gold. Now I'm a sucker for these types of highlighters, so this might be super biased. I love that wet look that highlighter gives. Like, do you see that? Oh, it is so gorgeous. I think that it literally is perfection for just bringing back that radiance, that glow, that dewiness into the skin, especially after you've set your face. And mind you, we still haven't put powder on the face. I will go back in with this product specifically over top once we're done with powders. I think this is absolutely stunning. Now, this is the tricky part. I do have other items in my collection that are a fraction of the price that you can also find at Sephora that essentially do the same thing. I immediately think of the Refi highlighter. I also think of my Merit stick, which are all within the $30 range. So I would honestly prefer those. I think this gives a stunning and beautiful effect. I'm super happy that I purchased it, but do I think it's worth $42? I don't. I think it's gorgeous, but I do think that you can find alternatives at a much more affordable price point that give you the same exact glow. Now moving into a product that I love, I literally cannot tell you how many of these I have backup for, is gonna be the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. Now here I have 2 in the color medium. I actually have, here it is. This is the one that I like to use in the under eye. I literally have 3 of them because I love this so much. I use this one for the under eye, and this powder is truly like no other. Even before showing it to you, I'm gonna let you know I highly think that this is worth the price point. It is $46, and it is a setting powder. It's a pressed powder formula. It has medium coverage, a natural finish, works for all skin types, and it says that it's an ultra fine setting powder that will blur imperfections and visibly reduce shine. So this is what it looks like, and we're actually going to test it because we're gonna put it right on top of that super radiant concealer that we have. Now I'm just gonna put some on my hand. I like to just pat just to control how much we're putting. And we're just gonna start to dot it right on where we want it. Now I use the color 1 because I do want a brightening effect under the eye. Medium 2, I usually use all around the face just to be able to set, but I like to use number 1 underneath. Now, I just want you to look at how that powder is just, oh my goodness. When I talk about a blurring powder, it is this one. This powder will literally blur anything that is underneath it, and I definitely think it is worth the price point just because it literally is unlike any other powder that I have. Like, I literally go to this powder when I know what finish I want, when I want that Airbrush Flawless base. So this is once again what we're looking like, and just making sure to blend all of that in. So this is what the face is looking like. Literally feels like velvet. I wish you guys can feel my face. I'm gonna go back in with the highlighter just so that we can add some of that dew back into the skin and bring that radiant glow right back on in. Next up, we're gonna move over to eyeshadow, and here I have the Instant Eye Smoky Eyes Forever palette. This is what she looks like, a true beauty. However, this retails for $75, which honestly I think is way too pricey for what you get. I do think the color story is gorgeous. I think the formula is nice, but I genuinely do not think that this is worth $75. So even before we get into it, I'm just gonna let you know I would have definitely passed on these. I wanted to try it, and I actually got it for the holidays. I also have this palette as well, which is the Pillow Talk Instant Eye, which is no longer sold, but I love the color story. But honestly, I've had these palettes for a while and I literally never reach for them. I only mostly use it for the black and the brown, but I can find those shades in literally any other palette. So I don't know, I just don't think these colors are anything extraordinary. The shimmers are pretty, but once again, like, I have other formulas and palettes that I think perform way better and prettier. So for me, this is honestly a big pass, but I have them, so let's use them. I don't want to do anything crazy, so I think I might just keep it a little neutral and we'll put a topper. I'm gonna just go in with this shade right here. Now I do love how it like categorizes the different shades and kind of just like groups them into shadows and color stories to just help you visually get an idea of what colors you have and what to work around with. But once again, I honestly don't really think that this palette is worth $75. I think if it was maybe like $45, it would make it a little better. Once again, like I said, I think the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow formula, at least these eyeshadow palettes specifically, are okay, but I don't think that they're worth $75. Now, I know that they also have the quads, which a lot of people use and really like, and I've swatched some of those in the actual store, and I think some of the shimmers are really pretty. But once again, I do still think just overall for eye products, that's just a little too pricey. When I think of quality that I would invest in and really just spend that much money in, I'm talking like Pat McGrath or Natasha Denona. Those are pretty much like the quality that I would spend, you know, a lot of money on it for. And while I do think this quality is nice, once again, I just don't think it's worth that price point. But it looks nice on the eye, it performs well. So if you're interested in wanting to try the brand and you have the money to drop and spend, I mean, why not? You won't be disappointed with what you're getting. It's not like, oh my God, it's horrible. I just think $75 is a lot for, you know, just an okay palette. I'm just gonna take some of that brick red color and we're just gonna deepen it a little bit. I think I'm just gonna keep it to 3 colors like that because I do have somewhat of a bold lip, kind of like a reddish lip that I want to put on. So we're just gonna bring this on in. I'm using this color right on here just to give it a brick feel. Now I am noticing a bit of patchiness with this eyeshadow, so just once again, something to know. It blends nicely, but it does like cling onto certain areas. So you just have to, you know, make sure you take your time and blend it and just get it to where you want it to be. Alrighty, so this is the 2 matte colors. We've just blended them into each other. I do want to put a shimmer on top. Now we have quite a few shimmer shades on here. That green is gorgeous, but given the eye situation we have, I think I might pick either the gold or this one right on next to it. Actually, you know what? Let's just do both. We'll go in with this color right on in here and just place it on the outer edge directly with my finger. That's actually really pretty. It's not as reflective as I thought it would be, but I can tell just looking at the palette that the shimmers have 2 different finishes. There's one like this one that's kind of a bit more like on the foiled look, and then we have this one that has a bit more of those glitter specks in it. So very interesting to know, but so far looking really pretty. Then we're gonna go into this color right on in here and we're going to apply it on the inner portion of the eye. Oh, that's actually really pretty. That is a stunning. Now when I'm looking for like something reflective, I want it to look like that. I want the finely milled glitter particles just living their best life and shining through. That is absolutely gorgeous. I am actually just gonna reach into the lightest shade of the palette and we're gonna just pop that into the inner corner to brighten it up a bit. Now for mascara, we have the Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes Volumizing and Lengthening Mascara. We have the mini size, which retails for $15, and if you buy the full size, that one goes for $29. Now this one promises to volumize and lengthen your lashes. It says that it is a mascara that will give your lashes instant and long-lasting volume, length, and a lift. We love all of those claims. I have never used this one before, but I do have my all-time favorite mascara, the Tower 28 one that I know I love, so I want to see how this one compares to it. The wand is very, very interesting. As you can see, it's flat like this, but when turned sideways, it gets a bit wider, so super intrigued to see how that plays out on the lashes. So let's just run it through. This automatically also looks like a much drier formula, which I personally love. I don't like when the mascara is super duper wet because it can get messy really, really quickly. Okay, so this is what one eyelash looks like. I actually really, really like the mascara, and what I think I like the most about it is the brush. Because the brush is the way that it is, it literally separates every lash. Now the only thing is, I am intrigued. I've had this one for a little bit, so I don't know if honestly maybe it's also dried up, but I do definitely want to go in store and purchase a new one, just because just with the brush and the formula, I really am enjoying it. It is definitely up my alley for mascara. So based on the first use application, I would definitely recommend testing this one out and trying it. I think that it will definitely be worth the money. And honestly, also, I believe I mentioned that this one costs $29, which is pretty standard for mascara in Sephora, or that's like considered high end. I don't think that the price point is like out of this world. So honestly, just based off of this first application, I would definitely recommend it, and I will be getting a full size. I literally love that mascara. You can't really tell because of the smoky eyeshadow, but and I don't have any liner on. I like that, I do. All right, moving to the second to last product, we have the Brow Fix, and this is a clear eyebrow gel. This one retails for $26, and it says that it is long wearing, a clear brow gel for all hair colors that sets, defines, and holds the brows in place for up to 24 hours. That is a long time, so this automatically just gives me similar vibes to the ABH one that I used to love years ago. Now I'm more into a gel with some fibers or some colors, but we'll test this and we'll brush it up. I have very rebellious curly eyebrow hairs that always go down, so we'll put this to the test. I don't have any brow product on. I would typically brush my hairs up and then with a brow pencil kind of just like fill in wherever there is any sparseness. Overall, I mean, I'm just using it right now and I think it's okay. I don't think this is something that's worth $26. For me personally, I have other items that are drugstore. For example, my NYX Thick It Stick It, as well as the NYX glue, which is actually right here. These are my ride or die products, and this has some tint and color to it, so I prefer that. I mean, I'm letting it dry and it feels nice, so I think if you're in the market for a gel brow and that's all you need, if you have thicker brows, you don't really need to fill in anything, I think this would be a go for you. For me specifically, I don't think it's worth it, just because I prefer items that have some pigment or color to it. But overall, it's still doing the job and it's holding my brows up. And lastly, we have one of the Matte Revolution lipsticks. This one actually came in a little holiday set. It's a mini, and this is in the color Walk of No Shame. Most of her lipsticks go for $35, which once again, on the hefty pricey side. This is what that color looks like. A bit more on the sheer end, I would say. Now this is what that color looks on. It is a really pretty application. I do not think actually though that this is one of her mattes. She has quite a few different lipstick formulas, but this one is in the color Walk of Shame. I think it's really pretty, but overall, once again, that price point is kind of high for just a lipstick. Now I do know that a lot of people love the Pillow Talk collection because there's several nudes, so that one is something that I might, you know, one day dabble into, but honestly, there's so many different affordable finds of better nudes. For me specifically, I just find that they lean more pink versus more brown, which is what I typically like to get for a neutral lip shade. But I do like how it feels. I think it's a pretty color, but overall, I don't think it's worth $35. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot one of my most used Charlotte Tilbury items. Before we finish, we have the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. This one is definitely a must-have. She will keep your makeup on all day. Now, it is more on the pricier side, but I promise you, if you are looking for a setting spray that will keep your makeup on all day, highly, highly, highly recommend. All right, guys, well, that concludes this video. That concludes rating all of the Charlotte Tilbury makeup products that I own. We have quite a few that I think I would pass on. I don't think are necessarily a must-have in your collection, but we also do have some must-have essential items that honestly are unlike any other in the makeup and beauty space. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for being here as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.